Occasionally in this job, a gentleman comes in with his pride and joy. He's had it for 10 years. The picture quality is not very good anymore, so let's improve it. Let's do a nice Sunday night job. This is a 55-inch. It doesn't look like a 55-inch. Maybe I'm just getting used to 55-inch because I think it's definitely the majority of the size that I've had during the course of the week. I'm not going to give you the model number of this TV because we're going to play a little game. But there's something a little bit special about this TV. It's 10 years old, it's an LG, it's a 55-inch, and it's an LED TV. And we are going to put some new LEDs in, even though the old ones haven't failed, technically. They're all still working, but the lenses are falling off, as was very common with LGs of this age. And this TV is exactly 10 years old. Well, November 2015. It was made. I was thinking that possibly it could have been made for the Black Friday market of 10 years ago, but I don't think the the Black Friday stuff was around 10 years ago in the UK. I don't think we were doing it. I could be wrong, because time flashes by. One day you're 21, and the next you're 22. But I don't think this Black Friday stuff... I get the impression it started about 6 or 7 years ago, but who knows? Now, the only thing I'm slightly worried about this TV, and I don't know if you can see it. I doubt very much that you can. Yeah, you can. It doesn't look so bad. Can you see, like, yeah, it's like a little liquid, a water patch that goes around here and down there and up there. And it looks very oily. Oily. And I am a bit concerned about that. But the customer said that it could have been when he was cleaning his bracket with something. But it feels quite fresh. Liquid and main boards don't tend to mix. I think we're going to be okay. So yeah, what could you think could be the unique thing about this TV? The easy, really. That some customers will regret throwing away when they fail. This customer's decided to get it repaired when it's failed. But some people don't. Some people... Well, a lot of people don't have a TV repair person in their vicinity. And a lot of people are a bit stuck when TVs like this go faulty, because they can't be replaced. They're a bit unique, you know. Has this got any at the front? No. So we're ready for this to come off. Not like me to leave a screw in. Well, I haven't. Left two. Just in case you want a little nose at these things. I know some people are very interested, and so you should be. We've worked on many of these in our time. And there is the screen, the unique screen, MGP1. Do you see it there? An MGP1. No, it means nothing to me either. But these were a pretty penny. That's a great expression, isn't it? Where does that come from? A pretty penny. Meaning I bet they weren't cheap when they first came out. The other thing about this TV which makes it unique is it's not a smart TV. These were the days, 2015, when you could still get a non-smart TV, but these were bought for something else. And I'm not going to tell you until the very end, and then I'll probably forget, and everybody will call me all the names under the sun in the comments. Not for the first time. Yeah, but these weren't, you won't find a Wi-Fi dongle in here, and there's no smart connectivity to the main board. It is Freeview HD. I thought that was burnt up a bit then, but it's just the it's just a mark. Have you noticed sometimes on boards there's lots of pen marks and stuff? And people just signing off saying, yeah, that'll do. Oh. Trust me to knock the camera. If a lot of people had that choice today, I think a lot of people would take a non-smart TV. I think people are getting bored with the smart, probably not bored with the smart stuff, but we feel we're getting a little bit ripped off, don't we? That to watch anything decent these days, your favourite, I don't know, top 5 programmes that are on apps only are probably on 4 different apps. So it kind of makes you want to get all the apps, and you shouldn't have to get all the apps, because the apps are blooming expensive. I mean, what did Amazon and Netflix start off at? About $6.99, $5.99 a month, probably. I mean, you can now get smart services for that price, but they come with ads. And we get a little bit fed up of the ads from time to time, don't we? But they were, yeah, I think they all started off about $5.99. Now, if you want a 4K package, and why wouldn't you? Because your TV is probably going to be 4K, maybe. I think you're up to £15 plus a month just for one app, one service. And then you've got broadcasters like Sky that are advertising for £15 a month, Netflix and Sky, but it is their very basic package. I don't even think it's HD. I could be wrong. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. So before you know it, you've got 45 odd quid a month coming out of your bank account just for apps. unless you do what I started to do. I don't have any. Oh yeah, I have Amazon. I'm back with Amazon only because of their delivery service, which I have to say, no you don't, but you're going to, aren't you? You're going to. I have to say, I won't use the word con or rip-off, because that's not nice. But I've noticed whatever I buy on Amazon with their so-called free next day delivery, free of course if you sign up to their £8.99 a month Prime. It's probably more than that now, isn't it? Whatever I buy on there, I can get for about £2 less on eBay if I'm prepared to wait a couple of days for the postage, of which, being the typical Brit I am, I'm not. If I see something I want, yeah, I want it yesterday. But yes, I have noticed that. So you are paying extra for certain things on Amazon for a lot. Well, I've been checking a lot recently, and yeah, it's always a couple of quid cheaper. These were, compared to today's TVs, very well made. Always worth repairing. And these in particular will have a certain value, a bit like a classic car to some people, a bit like a classic car where the value will go up because of this one thing. And very easy to maintain, even though I do believe the main boards are getting in short supply, and that's because if you're plugging HDMI into these, which you will be because of the reason, the HDMIs were never soldered down properly. Well, they were, but they weren't as strong as they could have been. And so many HDMIs were breaking off, and people were either throwing them away or getting them repaired. I'm just taking the screws out for the front bezel, of which there are plenty. But they're all coming out. And hopefully they'll all go back. LVDS cables out. Just checking I've got every single one of the screws out, so it's going to lift off in one, and I don't have to do that usual, I'll edit that bit out. Just in case you're wondering, while I'm working on a, I was going to say Thursday then, while I'm working on a Sunday, I always do. I like working on a Sunday, especially Sunday evening. Always got myself a roasting, which I don't eat until midnight because I'm weird. Actually, is that weird? There's probably a lot of people in the comments, if you'll be so kind. Is eating that late weird? I know it's not terribly healthy, but that's my body clock. You know, I'm working until midnight tonight. When I finish doing this, I'll be another hour and a half to 2 hours editing it down. And then while I'm editing, cup of coffee in one hand, roast pork in the oven, and that's the end of my day. Yes, you're right. The other light. Olay. So this is the second screen bezel. This is the one the screen rests on, whereas the other one, of course, is where the screen hides behind. Well, it hides behind to make sure it doesn't fall out. Which I still think is a better design. Better design than gluing them in. Don't get me started. Hold me back. Hold me back. I was thinking the other day about that glued screen I did a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Oh, it's this one here, the Hisense. And I'm impressed with the picture quality. It's just a shame that Hisense design it so it's so difficult to sort out and make it not really worth putting a new set of backlights in. But it does remind me that I have got a 60-inch Hisense in my lockup, which I've had for probably 2 years, with a backlight issue. So I wonder if I should do the same again. Try and get the screen out using a bit of card. Or a credit card, as somebody recommended, which is a good idea. I've just always used a business card. I'm going to put this down here. Again, nice and clean, no burn-ups, no issues. No hidden bits of tape to surprise you. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you can see the fault. Or faults. One there. And one here. Which you can't see. Oh, why can't you see? Why can't you see that? Oh, it's there. Okay. One there. Would you like me to test to see if they're all working? I'm not too sure. It's pointless me gluing these back on, because there could be faults with the rest of them, and the others are going to be so brittle that they just come off. So if I, let's say all these LEDs work, and they possibly do, and I glued those two back on, or three counting the one I've just broken, and then I give it to the customer back. He goes over potholes in the car. Every time he goes over a pothole, I mean, look how easy they're coming off. And then he gets home and he's got 5 or 6 more halo lights. But yes, we could have a look and see what is going on. Oh, this is going to be a different lead, isn't it? These are from the good old days. Of the clover leaf, I think. Yeah. I can't remember if these turn blue. Did these ever turn blue? I don't think these did they? Did they? Who are you talking to, Al? My imaginary friend. Please don't be in standby. If you're in standby, I've got to connect things up again. Oh, didn't I disconnect the backlights? Of course you did, because you're a safety conscious sort of guy. That didn't last long, did it? What happened there? The wire came out. Take 2, edit that bit out. So that'll be the LG Splash logo, and then... Don't tell me it came out again. No, we've got some out. Not many. Well, enough. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 4, 5. Yeah. Talking like a disc jockey now. 6. So we have 6 out. So, you know, pointless sticking them back in for more to fall off. Another example, thank you. And we've got 5 out, 6 out anyway. But as I'm sure you are aware with these, bear with me while I just take out the IR sensor again. There was always a little bit more work needed to these, which was a bit of a pain when I first started doing them, but then you just get used to it and appreciate it. But to get at all these wonderful screen supports out, you do have to take off the main board and the power supply and the T-con. So this is one of those TVs which I kind of always over-exaggerate it when I say it. But you do have to strip it down to nothing. You have to take everything out. And it's true, you do. But it's not a problem. It's an extra half an hour. Can you hear the lenses popping off? Ah, no T-con on this. Well, there obviously is a T-con, but it's elsewhere. Now I'm going to handle this power supply with extreme care, because I've just powered it up. So there's a chance that the filter caps, or filter cap singular in this one, will still have a little bit of voltage. I wouldn't have thought it was hundreds. But anyway. I can't see another screw. These sometimes did get stuck down. Or is it just these? Is it just the tapes? Sometimes there used to be another screw about there, but there's not. Just stuck down, as I said. Now we're going to start moving the clips. And of course, we're going to have to take this off because there's clips underneath here. Now, I have got hundreds of spares of these, but that doesn't mean I can go a bit brutal with them. Some of them are acting a bit more difficult to get out than others, quite simply because they're resting on the carpet underneath. And once you've got all those out, you then have to get the little clips around the side. as I said, everything has to come out. The only thing that's staying in are the LED connectors. Everything else, including these little bits of plastic here, the little grips, there's lots of the little buggers. Don't pinch them too tight, otherwise you'll damage them and you won't get them back in. It's not really mega important for them to go back in. There are other things holding in the reflector sheet, but it's just nice. You feel nice that you've taken them out and put them all back. Job well done and all that sort of stuff, you know. Any more? That one's been done. It's just hanging on. As I say, you can tell if you've done it because the reflector sheet will start falling out. So let's put them all somewhere safe. Did I leave any in? Yes, I did. I did. I left one hinge just here, look. Hiding under a piece of tape. At this time, I'm now going to check that the new LEDs fit. It would have probably been a good idea to check beforehand, but you know. There are all the B's. Nope, they're all the A's. These are the B's. And some are inverted, so you just turn them upside down, correct way, upside down, correct way. But yes. How shall we do this? Let's do this from bottom up. For those that are interested, and you're probably not, but these are the 6-volt backlights, whereas normally, you know, the ones in there, there, and there. Oh no, they're 6-volt because that's edge lit, but the rest aren't. Normally 3 volts. So technically there's 2 LEDs, which is possibly why, well, I don't think these are spaced apart too badly, but they're technically twice as bright as the 3 volts because there are 2 of them. I don't think that makes it twice as bright. I think it gives it twice as much light coverage. And for dealing with these little plugs, you've got to have good fingernails. Ooh. And it's always best to keep your hand over it as you're peeling them off. So they don't go flying off and smash a screen somewhere. I've only got 3 in my hand, and there were more than 3 pinged off there. I'll find them. I don't know if you can see, but there's one obvious burn up. If you can see, well, it's probably easier to see from that side, if you can see, because there's a big burn mark just there. Hopefully I didn't leave it on standby, so I can just plug the mains lead in, but of course, life is not like that, and we know it. Oh, of course I can't plug in. I've taken the boards off, you great festered tit. I am being symmetrical and putting them the right way. Not that anyone's going to see it. It's a nice job to do. but it does take a little extra than normal. Does it take any longer than the edge lit strips? Possibly not, no. Got a screw missing. Here it is. May have to connect the IR sensor again. May have to. Do we light up? Yes, we light up. You can possibly see. There you go. Pretty lines, but they're all working. Very bright. That's going to be a good picture. Not imperfect. I've got to push up a bit. Yeah. Well, if 3 sides are in, surely that means that they're all done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. I'm sorry. I knocked the camera, did I? Okay. I'm sorry you didn't see me put the screen back. I do apologise. Would you like me to take it out and do it again? The answer's no. A polite no. I do forget sometimes that I am filming, especially when it comes to picking a screen up, taking one out or putting one back in. It's gone very quiet. Concentrating, you see. Anyway, I did say there was something unique about this television which you can't get anymore, which is why a lot of people are wanting them repaired, and I'm sure you realise what I was talking about, because I think we've mentioned it before when we've done a few repairs. But this is a 3D TV, and yet people still have a 3D player, Blu-ray player, and the 3D discs. I wonder how many were made. Do you remember when Sky launched a 3D channel? Sky had a 3D channel. It didn't last very long, but they did have one. I've only got one speaker in, but that doesn't matter. Look at that. Look at that. A nice bright LG logo with no... Perfect. With no halos. And there's no reason why this TV shouldn't last another 10 years. Even though I'm only going to give a 1-year warranty. I probably should give 2, shouldn't I? I think I should give 2. Yeah, I think I am. He's a nice bloke. And I like people that have got nice things, like a 3D TV. And want to look after it. He decided it wasn't going to go down the tip. Oh, there's more oil here, sorry. Can you see along this bit here? It's definitely oily. It's quite fresh as well. Damn super, people. I don't know how long this has taken. Oh, well, I've been recording for, an hour and a half. I don't know how much I've edited it down, or will have edited it down by the time you see it. Didn't put the rest of the screen screws in, did I? Soon be cup of tea time, soon be roast pork time. Better go and put that pork in, hadn't I? I like my pork medium rare. And then 3 months in hospital. I have food poisoned myself with pork before, and I can quite honestly say, and it was a joint of pork as well, but I can quite honestly say it was the most painful experience. I was in bed with the worst stomach cramps, wanting to die, hating the world, for about 3 days, maybe 4. Awful, awful pain. Don't undercook pork. You can stare at the TV as much as you like, Al. You're still going to have to turn it around. Bright eyes. Nice TVs. Why don't people throw these down the recycling centre for me, hey? It's not 4K though, is it? Can't use it. It's not 4K. If it wasn't for the fact that I have a drone and I like seeing my drone stuff in here on 4K while I'm editing it, I'm not over enamored by 4K picture, if I'm being honest. I love HD. Full HD, which this is perfectly fine. 4K is a little bit oversold, shall we say. I haven't seen any 8K yet, or 16K. It is around. But where's it all going to stop? 4K can play tricks on your eyes. So what is 8K going to do? 16K. Egypt. Four large sub tappers, one for the main board, one for the power supply, and then 2 to clamp in the speaker. I must admit, looking back at the LEDs in this TV, how did the picture stay on with 6? The answer to that is, there are 2 ways an LED can fail. They can either just pop, and that means the circuit doesn't get carried over, but sometimes they just go short circuit, and that must mean, I think there were 6 that weren't working. All 6 must have been short circuit, because it has to carry the circuit over. Well, the volume's working, but I think the on-off button on this remote control is gone. I'm really short of LG remote controls. Just damn. I'll just check the inputs. They're all working fine. That is good. Okay. Not a quick job. 1 hour 39. Cup of tea time. Thank you very much for spending your Sunday night with me. And I will do a quick job tomorrow. I'll tell you what I'm going to do tomorrow. Is that 55-inch Samsung yesterday. I still can't work out if it's backlights or mainboard. 1 hour I think backlights, 1 hour, next hour I think mainboard. I'm going to solder a couple of test strip lights on the outside to see if they come on perfectly. And if they come on perfectly, it is the backlights. I'm not convinced it's the backlights, because it definitely had a mainboard problem when we first brought it in, but anyway, that's tomorrow. So that'll just be a quick half an hour test tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.